Here's the thing. Unfortunately, we live in a world where, and it's been such a long time, guys could go sleep with 5 girls in one day, and they're looked at as a champion. And a girl sleep with fucking 5 guys, and she's a fucking slut whore.
She's a whore.
Right.
That's crazy.
And that's sad, and that's something that I do believe, need some balance and need some restructuring.
I think it's going to be kind of hard to change something
but at the end of the day,
because gender roles we find all of the time in different situations.
They be
very
looking
consistent,
at women
right?
like they're fucking.
I always use this one all the time that my ex used to tell me when I told him he wouldn't treat me fair. He says, if someone walks in our house and the lights are off, they're going to look at me. And if it's dirty, they're going to look at you. We cannot help how we have this in our minds. Think about when you open the door for women or when you got to pay. What you going to look like if you don't put your wallet out for a fucking dinner? You want to split it. Gender roles are kind of something that we can't get rid of.
Yeah.
And so that's why women can't really get away from this ideal that we can't fuck anyone. It's almost insane. I have a girlfriend of mine that was saying she told her man, she's 28 years old, that she had a threesome before, and she's like, he looks at me like I'm disgusting.
Yeah.
And she's like, bitch, I'm almost 30. And it's real. Like, they want these women that are fucking virgins, and it's not going to happen.
He probably was just mad because it
know.
wasn't him. If it was probably him in it, he probably would have felt different.
And then sometimes a lot of people, men
like
and
this.
women, are old-fashioned. Bro, I have a friend that was dating this girl, and she would put a picture on Facebook of like she was make believe like blowing a statue, like the statue had like one of those penises,
right?
And she had her mouth over it. And he was like, bro, I'm not fucking with this girl. She's a head, like, no, he called her head case. I think he was like, I guess he felt that was disgusting. I forgot the exact word but he used, but I was like, bro, who cares? It's a fucking picture.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't even know how people see things like that. Is she being tacky because she's outside in public? Is she not having fun, or is it too slutty? Like, what the fuck?
Imagine what I heard when I was doing labori. I heard it all. You a faggot, this, that.
What's that?
You know, tell me who Labori is.
Labori was a character that I was doing, a female character. She was, I was one of the
one of my favorites is Marisa from the Lower East Side.
That's the guy. But like my inspiration was John Leguizamo growing up, Tuan Fu. Those movies are my shit.
Oh, they're great.
You know what I mean? But I was always a straight male, never fucking messed around. But Instagram came out. And I started doing the 15-second videos, and I made a character, Labori, that was based on my mom. And she was a fucking hit, bro. I got all the reggaeton artists to start hitting me up. Nicky Jam, Arcangel, Farruko. I was in the Choppy Choppy video. And everybody started seeing it. They were like, yo, this nigga's really coming up. And motherfuckers... And then a lot of people just seen it, and they started calling me gay. He's a fucking tranny, this and that. And I was like, dude, it's a character. You're just mad.
Dude, it's toxic masculinity.
I was about to say, I think it comes from people having this idea of masculinity and that you lose it if you do certain things. We actually talk about it a lot on the show.
I'm very sure
as far
about
as anal play with a guy, licking ass, fingering. We've even talked about pegging. And
what the fuck is pegging?
So pegging is when a female wears a strap-on dildo and fucks the man.
You're gonna learn today.
The most you can do is shave my butthole and lick it. You know what I mean? If you're a licker.
Well, so wait, you've never had a finger in your ass while getting a
Never.
blowjob?
I had the only time I ever had one time I was messing with this girl, and she had put a tongue. She was going down on me, and then she put a tongue in my ass.
That shit.
And I was like, "What the fuck did you do?" And she's like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Nah, do it again." Do it again. But don't fucking tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
Keep it on the low.
I put my legs up in the air.
I love it when they do that. Look, he's
when
really,
I was getting my booty shaved, I was definitely like that. I was definitely up like that.
So she shaved your booty for you?
Wifey is a champion, man.
Oh, she lit. I ain't
She
never
don't
shaved
speak
her ass
Spanish, though.
before.
She don't speak Spanish, though.
She was like, what up, my nigga? How you like them edges, my nigga?
So
where were you?
Well, I was just saying, like, things like that. So you had your ass licked before. You've had it licked and shaved. And so a lot of guys, especially in minority communities, feel like anything with their ass makes them gay, even if a woman does it. And gay to me is two people of the same sex.
Exactly.
Like if you want a dick in your ass, you'll get a dick in your ass.
Right, but
you wouldn't ask for a strap.
So wait, so I don't even know why I'm asking this. Give me a breakdown. You have a peg?
I've done it. I love it. So I'm a dom.
Do you have it with you today?
No, I said, have you ever pegged someone?
So
stop trying to. I'm not getting involved in this pegging shit.
I mean, you have a video up, so I didn't know how fucking into this you wanted us to go.
Well, so she talked about her being submissive in the bedroom. I prefer to be dominant in the bedroom, and so I like to take charge. I like to be more directive, and I have fucked a guy with a strap-on before, and it was fucking lit. I really enjoyed it. Who's that? Look, I'm like,
somebody was getting ready to be picked.
It was very pleasing for me, and it was something that we did a lot of talking before we did.
Okay.
Before we did it, and of course it started.
Was
with
he
the
straight?
tongue. Yeah, he was straight. Very straight. Had never
So
been
he-
with a man.
If it's pegging,
So it's something
Had
that you
never been with a
wait.
man.
Gay dudes
So
don't
it's
want a
something
woman
that
to
you
peg them.
convinced him to do,
It
or
was
he asked.
So we talked about it. It started off, with have you had your ass licked? Then we talked about fingers, and you got 1 finger, 2 finger. Then I was like, well, nigga, I want to open you up, and and then we got into
Did you have
could
him
I
on
do
his
a
back
toy?
or bent over?
I had him, and it's so funny because he was 6'11",
Holy
and I'm 5'1",
shit.
and I actually had him on his back. I prefer missionary like that because I like to look at the dick while I'm
Okay.
it makes it
I see you.
and so it was enjoyable, it was pleasurable, but it was a lot of communication that happened prior to it.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of trust because you do have men who feel like they're going to be exposed, or men who feel like she won't look at me as a man any further. And so it's really making sure that both of you are comfortable and that he's comfortable with his sexuality. If he's straight, he's straight. He's not.
Yeah, but
feeling
if
like
someone's
this is
asking for pegging,
What was
Are they
he
straight?
white, Spanish,
Yes,
black?
why
was
would they
he
not
white,
be straight?
Spanish, black?
I only deal with black guys.
Oh, God.
So it's a little harder for me.
Black Twitter, what's up, man?
It's a little harder for
Black
me.
Twitter, y'all
Actually,
pegging,
I've only
man?
pegged a
Don't
black
do
guy.
that. Don't do that, Loopy.
Nah, white guy.
Damn it,
But no,
Twitter.
It's a little harder for me to convince or get into talking about that with black men. It's much harder.
No, hell yeah.
But
I
there's
already know.
there's actually ironically a lot. Like I get
Yo,
into
if you
these
started
questions.
messing with white guys, you'd be pegging all day, man.
You might have mad babies. You might have
White
mad
boys don't give a fuck.
babies,
They'd be
yo.
like, dude, I don't
Yo,
know, but like
babies, yo.
maybe I'd be into it.
They're into it,
The
like-
finger's cool.
Mandy,
I'm down with a finger.
hold on, hold on, hold on,
Babies,
hold
yo.
on, hold
What's
on.
up? What's up? Ask
I
away.
need to figure this out because
Yes.
you're saying, of course, they're straight. If
Why
they're
would they not be
asking-
straight? I'm a female. Their asshole has nothing to do with their
You have to
sexuality.
remember what gay man that do any
Let
of
me
us
tell you
know
something.
that's getting fucked by a woman with a strap on. They're getting
No, because
dick.
that means that if he's letting him peg her, he would get pegged by a guy.
he would.
No, that's
he would
not
if
what
he
that
wanted
means.
No.
it.
I don't
That's
know. I don't
we don't
understand.
agree.
I'm just trying to learn. You know what I mean?
So
But
and that's the thing.
that's the thing too, right? So like the tongue.
I wouldn't
is,
judge.
The tongue is
I
okay
wouldn't
for you,
judge.
right? A lot of dudes out there think the tongue is fucking crazy.
Of course.
So it's the same. It's just a different scale of what you would do
No,
with
the
your ass.
guys who say it's crazy are just not admitting.
I want to say one more thing about the strap on that a lot of people don't know.
Okay.
So like I've fucked women with a strap on and it looks like a dick, but when you're getting
What kind of
pegged,
women do you like?
I like very, very girly.
Because you're
girls.
like slim and
I like girls
very
that look like
pretty.
me.
What do you like? You
Feminine
don't
women.
like any like men looking women?
It's
like
funny,
tomboys
neither
or
of
like
us- I
bitch
like feminine women too.
I think it's maybe because I like
Both
very
of my
masculine men,
sisters,
so I
both-
like very girly women.
Both of my
Okay.
sisters are gay,
Really?
and and you know.
Yeah, one of my best friends is gay too.
Like Butch?
And one of them, well, no, the other, well, see, I don't want to say Butch because I feel bad, God forbid they ever listen. But you ever watch wrestling? One of my sister's wife is Captain Lou Albano. I don't know if you ever seen.
No.
Yeah. It's you don't want to say. If anybody looks that up, and you'll laugh at it. You
See,
know what
I
I mean?
like
Google that.
I like stripper vixen looking bitches, like big booty, big
Yeah.
tits, small waist. Like
I ain't gonna lie, I like a
those.
Wilhelmina
That
model.
shit is
looking
all
bitch.
Yeah,
expensive
I
as fuck.
Well, I get to fuck them for free, so it's lit for me.
Why do you get to fuck them for free?
Because I'm a bitch. I ain't got to pay for no pussy. The fuck? But if I were to go like for the, I do have a crush on Brittany Griner, but I think
Okay.
she looks like a dude.
Yeah, she does.
I love Brittany Griner though.
So with the
So
women,
hot.
the strap-on that I use looks like a dick, right? But for strap-ons with men, they don't look like a dick.
They curve
They're
down
like
to hit the
cylinder,
prostate.
Like they're very different shapes so that they don't look like a dick because they don't want a fucking dick. They just want the stimulation. And everybody always thinks it's so crazy that straight men want this, but you
what
think
does
all
he
these-
say? Like when you have put this, what is he saying? Fuck me harder.
Okay, so there's a verbal thing attached to it, but to me, I'm cool with him just moaning. I really like a
I've
man
never
who
had
moans.
anybody talk back to me.
When he's
I
getting
can
fucked,
moan
there-
without you pegging me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but
I'm a moaner.
But to me, it's also stimulated for me. Like my pussy got super wet because mentally I'm in charge. Mentally, I'm like doming the man. And so it was a way for me to come, and it's a different sensation and a different orgasm for a man to come while his ass is being played with. The male G-spot is in the
shoot
ass.
Out like crazy. Like I honestly thought
oh,
it was
your cum will go across the room.
Listen, this is 2018, so I'm not judging anybody. But no pegging over here, laboro.